Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and Iron here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and Mscribe, and today we got some updates, some Ordinal updates.
Yeah.
And we are going to start with Crypto Slam.
We always got to start with Crypto Slam.
Yes.
We're talking Bitcoin specifically, I guess. But, I mean, why? Because it's, does a good job of painting the picture of what's happening.
That's right.
So you like to do the 7-day chart, right? Or
well, yeah, let's do 7 day.
Yeah, let's do
30 day, dude. 7 day, 30 days, all the same thing.
It really is. Bitcoin and Ethereum is pretty much doing the same stuff they always do.
Yeah.
So that's good. That means Bitcoin, back in time, Bitcoin didn't even belong on these charts.
That's true.
So ever since we started covering this ordinal space, it's been pretty much neck and neck. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, throwing Polygon, Immutable in there.
But really, it's not that Bitcoin's ahead or they're neck and neck. It's that it's down 65% in 30 days.
Well, across the board.
Across the board.
Yeah, it's the slumping, right? This is the post-halving slumping that I think we kind of saw coming.
For sure.
This wasn't catalyzed by runes or anything like that. This is kind of like how it goes all the time. After a halving happens for Bitcoin, it's kind of like the market.
Snooze.
Yeah, it's like the hype kind of just gets sucked out of the room.
Right. If you really want to be entertained, this is when you're supposed to be paying the most attention.
1,000%.
The most attention.
Yeah, because if we rewind ourselves 4 years ago, same thing was happening, and everybody was like, you know what? Crypto has no future, no hope.
Yeah.
I don't see a horizon of bullishness. How are we gonna flip this thing around?
Yeah.
ICO's already happened.
Right.
So it's over, guys. So
yeah,
similar sentiments kind of permeate. It's like, fuck, dude. If we don't really onboard enough celebrities for these meme coins, it's fucking over.
Yeah.
Right. But that's not the case.
All right, moving on. So we're looking at a post here by CoinGecko. It says, this volume is mainly driven by the most popular collections on the chain, such as Node Monks, with a market cap of 198, and Bitcoin Puppets. Mm-hmm. And then you look here. Yeah, Natcats is on the board.
Hell yeah. Go Natcats. Go DMT.
But most importantly, January through May, there's a big spikening.
Yeah.
And we're back to where we started practically.
Yeah, this is just a good representation. Again, it's like that pre-halving hype. Everybody's excited. Bitcoin is entering a new paradigm.
Yeah.
A new epoch, as they say. And then it's like, oh, fuck, it's actually going to take a minute before the market, shows up. And again, these are the periods of time where you pay attention to the technology that's developing, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I'm looking at, pictures. We got runes, distribution process, pictures. We got a rock, more pictures. And then we have Natcats, picture based off of Bitcoin, the only unique asset here.
Okay.
Just saying, dude.
Just saying, huh?
Just saying. Just gotta call it what it is. I'm just reading the chart here, man.
Well, it's early days, dude. At one point, it's gonna say DMT and Nats trading volume on CoinGecko. It needs its own category of its own, right?
Yeah, CoinGecko.
Well, give them some time, dude. We got some more stuff to do.
All right, now looking at Magic Eden. So yeah, the slumping. Everybody's feeling it, right? Look at the past 30-day percentage.
Yeah.
Right? Average down 30%, everything. You don't even have to look at what's on the left. It's just down. Doesn't even matter what it is.
I saw one that's 60%, so that's got to hurt, right? So I mean, come on, man. We're no stranger to this. This happens.
No, this is supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
When Bitcoin's going crazy back in 2017, 2021, it goes up and then has 30% corrections.
Yeah.
And then it goes up higher.
That's right. So number has to go down for number to go up. It's some sort of weird market physics.
It is market physics. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, something like that. But so we understand this here. So there's really nothing to panic about. Again, we see this as the good times. This is where it's kind of silent out there on Twitter.
You know what's crazy is that you see these bad numbers. It's red. Ooh, scary, sad. Right?
Yeah, of course.
But people actually feel it, and they don't recognize that this is supposed to happen.
I mean, you telling me you don't feel it when you're your wallet balance is down 70%? You feel something. Right?
I was like, I don't know.
But even
but like an expert entertainer,
right.
You're supposed to be like, all right, what else can I get into?
Of course, to kind of like, cope with all that pain. It's like I can see the entertainment on the horizon, right? And
Yeah.
that's our job, is to look for
Yeah.
for these entertainment opportunities, right? Because we don't want everyone to be sad.
No.
Right? There's so much to look forward to, dude. So let's talk about some of that. We got
pizzas.
Pizza
on Binance.
Right, but there's more that meets the eye. We're not all excited about pizza, even though it's quite delicious.
It is great.
Something happened in the BRC20 ecosystem, which we kind of missed because we've been busy with DMT and rolling out the royals and stuff. But while all that was going on, a new showcase of BRC20s, like modular 5-ticker, I guess, token deployment occurred, right?
Yeah, which I need to look into, because is it just five
So.
letters?
I think it's a demonstration that, BRC20s are nimble, right? So we went from 4 to 5, dude. So extrapolate from there. What else can we do, right?
I mean, we can launch tokens called pizzas.
That's a big fucking deal, and look at the volume as a result.
That's true. That's a good point. So since it's launched 3 days ago, according to this tweet, was it June? Oh, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
It says 33 million in volume across all marketplaces. In comparison, Donk has achieved 89 million in volume over the past month.
Yeah, so here we go. Right. This is, I'm sure, if you're Unisat or the BRC20, tribe.
Yeah, first is first, right? BRC20s came in first.
Yeah.
And first is always the winner, right, man?
I don't know. But the point is they've chosen dog as their big bad wolf, literally. It's like a little miniature form.
Yeah.
The little pup wolf or something, I don't know. And it's fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Or fuck those tokens in particular, because, they're competing Metaprotocols, right? That seems to be the sentiment forming. So, I mean, this happens a lot in the Bitcoin space, I guess. It's pick your tribe.
Yeah.
Seems to be a normal occurrence, right? And so the discussion is, is that good? Is that bad? Is this normal, expected?
I feel like this is standard protocol, right?
I think it's going to be
there's always got to be a big bad wolf.
Yeah, and a competitive, I guess, sentiment around this stuff, right? Because as Metaprotocols, create their own silos in a sense. What are they doing? They're splitting liquidity, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, people actually have a lot in stake to pick a side and to really raw behind what it is that's being developed, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're seeing. So pizza, it's going ham.
Yeah, don't actually battle each other, guys.
Well, most cases can't, unless Bitcoin Nashville just turns into
a riot.
Yeah. Could you imagine that shit? It turns into a real gang war.
Yeah. It's like dogs versus pizzas.
Yes. Imagine. That'd probably be bullish if I saw something like that.
Yeah, so speaking of Bob Bodley, we just interviewed him. Very intelligent guy.
Very insightful interview. So that's not going to come out for a bit, right?
Yeah.
But keep an eye out for that, because if you want to understand where Tap protocol, I guess, is headed for developers that want to leverage ICP. I mean, this is something we've been it's been on the back of our minds, or our bucket list is actually understanding what ICP is.
Yeah. It felt daunting just to understand ICP, but after this conversation, I feel a pretty strong grasp.
Me too. Which, thank God, dude. So based Bob.
Yeah, bucket list check.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, Bob. But here he is again, dude, chiming on, what are BRC20 2.0?
Yeah, if you don't know what's going on with BRC20 2.0, this basically summarizes everything. So the links will be in the description for this. Definitely, when Bob tweets, you read.
Yeah, so speaking of modules, he's saying a programmable module is on the horizon. So, I mean, per that conversation, that's a big deal, right? Introducing more vectors of programmability for Bitcoin native assets. It is the next tranche of where we're headed, right?
Yeah.
As an ecosystem, as a space, we've had enough of Metaprotocols and token genesis and such. So it's all right, how do we make these things dynamic and robust?
Yeah.
And build real applications as a result, right? That's the next era.
All right. Okay, we got Rune's market cap just hit $2 billion. That's huge.
Well, why is that huge, dude?
Because it's the B.
It's
a B.
because it's more than one.
Because it's more than one.
That's true. So I mean, last time we talked about runes, it was like 1.5 billion. So we're getting consistent signals that this thing is it's on the
bubbling
up into the right trend, right? Which is what everybody likes to see.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, what are the end game results of this? I mean, probably more memes as a result.
We need more memes, dude.
But hold on, it's not just memes.
Yeah.
We've got one here.
BAMK.
Yeah.
BAMK of Nakamoto dollar just breaking top 4 runes.
Yeah, so we made a video last week about that. Like
we did, and surprisingly, as soon as that video came out, it went 400%.
I don't know, 300, 400%, something like that.
Oh, man, why do we do this?
I don't know, but to us, it's just going through the list of runes. This was the only one that stood out. It's like.
Yeah.
Something to talk about. That's what you like to say? It's like, how do we pick and choose what it is we like talk about in this channel?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to have literally something to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't think memes are really hard to talk about.
I mean, we would talk about Iggy Azalea
all day.
There's nothing.
That would be TJ's preferred programming.
If anybody wants to talk about it, I'm here.
TJ's DMs are open, dude. Just send him all the research you can compile.
Yeah.
About the mother token. TJ's down, dude. Do some due diligence on Iggy Azalea for sure. I feel that, dude. So there's a market for that, but I don't think we're very good at supplying that alpha, dude.
It's too hard.
But yeah, I mean, she continues to rampage. Her and those cheeks, they're going ham. They're going ham, dude.
But what's interesting about BAMK is that we just interviewed Jack Liu.
Surprise! It's Jack Liu, dude. Yeah. We didn't even know that when we made the video.
Yeah.
So yeah, the funny story is I reached out to BAMK because it's interesting and it's let's find out more.
Yeah.
What is this Athena peg?
Yeah.
Right? This thing happening on Ethereum is the value of that is pegged to something stable on Bitcoin. What?
Yeah.
And then you get a message or a calendar request from Jack Liu. What the fuck?
I was like, Jack, is this a coincidence? Do you just want to chat or are you associated with BAMK?
I missed you guys. It's been a year, dude.
Yeah.
It's let's chat. But no.
Yeah.
So Jack Liu is part of the team, right?
Yeah.
So it was another cool interview.
Yeah. That's going to be out Thursday.
Relatively soon.
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that.
All right. Moving on. What do you know? First is first, dude. Counterparty is back. Big release with major improvements to this command line interface and API for devs and a ton under the hood fixes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was telling you, first is first, right?
I mean, that's what they like to say. So
that's what they like to say, but it's I don't know, fake news.
I mean, Counterparty is when we first got into Ordinals, that was the name everybody was referencing. It's well, Counterparty tried to, bring NFTs
2014
tokenization of things onto Bitcoin, way back when. It's well, that clearly didn't work, but Ordinals are working.
Yeah.
Right. So here Counterparty is re-entering the chat, dude. It's you know what? We're still here.
Yeah.
Devs, use our tools. So I don't know, dude. What are the odds, the probability that Counterparty reignites something, right?
Well, everyone has a big bad wolf, right? So narratives are cooking.
Well, what do you mean? What's the narrative here? It's Counterparty's bad?
No.
Oh, they're first.
They're first.
Truly first.
And ordinals are bad.
Oh Lord, imagine that, dude. another one?
Another war afoot, dude.
Another Bitcoin war, dude. Why can't we just get along?
I don't know. That's not how the world works.
God, that sucks.
It does suck. Yeah, absolutely sucks.
What a way to end it.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, so we have Counterparty. I'm interested to see what these updates are. So
of course. I mean, yeah, we know Metaprotocols are a thing, and as of right now, there's no real indication to verify whether all this stuff is going to consolidate into a singular stack or not.
Yeah.
So as of right now, it's we got to figure out ways to, I don't know, potentially unify the liquidity in some way. So we had Bob Bodley had some interesting takes on how to possibly do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, talking about technology infrastructure era, that's where we're at.
Yeah, man, they got tons of APIs here, dude. That's cool.
Yep. But yeah, that's it for ordinals, dude. I mean, shit. It's Bitcoin, dude. So it's gonna take some time to actually figure out how to get past this like weird zone of.
It happens every single cycle, dude. It's amazing.
Right.
Same thing happens.
Yeah, but nonetheless, like something has to happen here for these Bitcoin native assets to, I guess, kind of like traverse into the next step, right? Where they're all of a sudden interesting again.
Yeah, but if you look at Crypto Slam, I mean, if we were on Ethereum, like we would be saying the exact same thing. Something has to happen.
That's a good point.
To get to the next point.
So maybe like nothing needs to happen.
No.
That could be part of the thesis. It's like
I think nothing needs to happen. I think it's just more stuff.
Just sit around and wait for like.
No, definitely don't wait. If you're a developer and a creator, keep launching, keep going.
Okay.
Despite the numbers being down, just keep pushing.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Strong message, dude.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, if you do nothing, guess what happens?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right.
All
nothing
right.
happens.
Very profound and deep, dude. Thank you for that.
All right, guys, that's it for us. If we miss anything as far as Ornal's update, let us know in the comment section below. We try to respond to everything.
Yeah.
Definitely join the Discord. There's many of them. The Royals Discord is going ham. Amscribe Discord, we got a lot of stuff happening next week.
Yeah, stay tuned to the channel. We'll be announcing some stuff later on in the week as far as like, next unit collections are on the horizons.
Yeah.
Potentially like different Mscribe updates and such. So yeah, there's a lot to discuss in the DMT space for sure.
Yeah, man. Every day is like we're freaking busy. So yeah, speaking of, if you send us a DM and we don't respond, ping us again, and we will respond. We respond to everybody.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.